Okay, this video is long overdue, but I feel a really strong inclination to make it now. I want to thank every single Patreon and anybody who donated via PayPal, the one-time donations, and I'm going to mention you all by name. I'm not going to do the last name, just the first letter of it. And I know I didn't get the permission, but hey, look, you've got to also learn how to receive, and I really want to give my gratitude. So here, even if you don't want your name, please accept the gratitude graciously, okay? I'm gonna do first name and the first letter, and after we do that, I want to talk about what's my idea with Patreon, with donations, and where I see the direction of this channel as far as, you know, accumulating certain amount of funds and how I want to use them. Okay, so stick around, even if you're not, you know, you're not on the list, or you're not currently on Patreon or whatever, and you say, okay, well, I'm not, you know, this video is specifically for the Patreons, you know, maybe skip a little bit, maybe I would say 3-4 minutes, because I really want to tell you also what I want to do with this channel, what I want to do, because I've got some really interesting projects coming up and they're already in progress. Okay, so if, you know, you want to just, for whatever reason, you want to skip ahead a little bit, 3-4 minutes should be about sufficient enough. If you're one of the Patreons, one of the people, please hang out here. I really want to thank you by name. I see when people donate, I see it, and I always show my appreciation when I see somebody. I see who it is, what the name is, who it is, who's the person, and I really, you know, I'm very grateful. Okay, so I'm gonna start in no particular order. This is just what the Patreon is showing me, and I want to also mention the one-time donations. Okay, so I got the list here. So James A, thank you. Stormwindow, thank you. Drew A, thank you. Silvery Gale, thank you. Gail came on the podcast a few times. Luke C, thank you. Luke T, thank you. Yasser Bucks, I said the last name, it's out now, thank you. Rasaja W, thank you. Kyle M, thank you. Stephen K, thank you. Luis H, thank you. Trinu H, thank you. Stefano S, thank you. Gabriel C, thank you. Julian C, thank you. Owakil, thank you. Alexander L, thank you. Emma K, thank you. Salim C, thank you. Sebastian B, thank you. Eddie, thank you. Kuram, thank you. Amrit M, thank you. Shabs A, thank you. Jacob P, thank you. Ajmal S, thank you. Thank you guys. I hope no names were not mentioned, and these are all the names. If for whatever reason your name wasn't there, this is what Patreon's showing me. Sometimes it doesn't show or whatever. Please accept my apologies. Accept my sincere gratitude. There's also the people who made donations on PayPal. So beginning with the person who suggested it, who's also on Patreon, which has a nickname on Patreon, but I'm going to say your name here because it shows up here on PayPal as well. You suggested the one-time donations, and you know what? We've gotten, you know, quite a bit since then, so thank you. You started off this thing. Michael V, thank you. Natalie R, thank you. Aisha N, or Aisha N, thank you. Luke C, thank you. And I made a video for you, Luke, because you made such a big donations, and I was, you know, really mind blown just as I was leaving here. So thank you. Dustin A, thank you. Philip P, thank you. And today we got two. Muhammad Y, thank you. And Moment R, thank you. Thank you guys. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Really, really, really thank you to everybody. The number, how much you donate, it doesn't matter. It's a sentiment that I appreciate, okay? It really is a sentiment that I appreciate. And every time I see somebody donated or became a Patreon and I read the name, and I just really send you my deep gratitude. Okay? So I really wanted to do it name by name here, just again to show you that I really appreciate it, that I always appreciate it. It's not just happening and I'm like, okay, whatever. I appreciate it. It is always appreciation. So thank you guys very much. And to tell you where I'd like this to go. So obviously, first step, I'd love to be able to do this full time. So currently I teach kids English online. It's wonderful. It's beautiful. I'm very appreciative and grateful for it. I would like to do this full time. I would like to do this full time. I would like to have enough funds so that I may be teaching once a week, twice a week at the most. Okay, and then this is full time, and perhaps not even teach. Perhaps just do this. Why? Because after the point of which I am doing this full time, this is my life. This is what I'm doing. This is how I earn a living, because we have enough donations, enough supporters on Patreon. Next step would be to host retreats, and this is in progress because one of you guys, you know who I'm talking about, one of the Patreons, you're here in Thailand, and I'm going to see you in a couple of days, and we're going to basically on a retreat style thing. Okay, I'm not going to go into any further details here, but it's somewhat of a retreat here. So this is, you know, you've come here, you've asked me via Patreon, and you said, you know, can we do this? And I said yes, and we should have met by the time this video's out. So, and I met another one of you guys also here, okay, in Thailand. So I'm definitely being called to host retreats here, something like you know, a 3-day thing, Friday, Saturday, Sunday type of thing, or something like that, you know. And I would love to host them, you know, once a month, once every 3 months. And I would love to make them affordable. So currently, the goal that we have on Patreon, so that I can do this full time, that's the first goal, is 1,500, about 1,500 or so, right? 1,500, maybe, I think so, 1,500. So the idea that I have in mind is, here we are, I'm doing this full time now. I have full time, full attention to do this. The next step, which would be the next goal after I'm able to do this full time, would be to host professional official retreats. So I haven't really looked into how much it would cost to have a place rented for 3 days and accommodation and food, etc. But what I have in mind is that, you know, if we have enough funds, say at some point, you know, we get up to $2,500, $3,000 a month on Patreon, right? Then I would basically host retreats on a monthly or semi-monthly basis, every 1 month, every 2 months, however the Tao is, however the flow of things. And the only thing you would have to pay to come to the retreat. So let's say we have 10 spots for the retreat, right? But if we have enough funds via Patreon and donations, then your accommodation will be taken care of because we have the funds. Your food will be taken care of. Anything else will be taken care of. And the only thing you would have to pay for at that point would be the flight here. That's it. And if I host them regularly, then almost all of you guys can do it because the flights, you know, they're not that expensive. You can get a 2-way ticket, not that expensive. They're honestly not that expensive. They're quite affordable. So that way, through the collective support of everybody, then we are able to get everybody eventually to come and hang out here and hang out with other people, like part of this community, and it would be affordable, okay? Because I wouldn't be hosting retreats at that point to make any profit. I would be hosting it so that we're because we have the support. I don't need to make, I don't want, you know, there's no such thing as I need to make money or whatever, because that's the way I'm being supported, is through the donations, the support of the collective. So then that way, almost all of you, at some point or other, would have the chance to come here and hang out for 3 days. We'll do retreats, you know, all the things we talk about here. Perhaps even some plant medicines could be involved in this. I mean, you know, again, It just depends, I guess, where we are, what's the location, etc. But yeah, that's something I'd love to do. It's something I'd love to do, is to have enough support so that when we'd be able to host these retreats, and the goal would be to make it affordable for everyone. Because if you're supporting via Patreon, you're making it affordable for you to, and for everyone also. Because your support could be small on Patreon, but over time we have enough people. So this is perhaps a more longer term approach, because I feel like the channel needs to get bigger also for us to reach such numbers where I'm doing it full time, and then the rest, any money after the full time, goes towards the retreats. I don't know what that number would look like, but it would go towards retreats. It would go towards hosting retreats. So then you come here, accommodation, food, everything else is taken care of. Even being picked up from the airport or whatever. And then you would just pay for the flight. So the flight, again, they're pretty affordable. You can get pretty affordable flights, round trip. So you'd come hang out here for 3 days, and it would be a blast. You get to, we get to meet each other in this community. So that's the next step. That's the next step. And so, yeah, I see this as the longer term approach. However, it's not gonna happen right away. I'll see it as a longer term approach. And in the meantime, I got two things. First, to appreciate every single person that has been supporting, that continues to support, that will support, and to keep doing this, to keep posting daily videos here. Perhaps even when I go to Vipassana, you will still see my videos, because I am definitely jumping ahead now and making lots of videos. So I really want to just keep making videos every day. I want to keep having something that is valuable on a daily basis. So perhaps if I move ahead of the schedule enough that even when I go to Vipassana, you'll still see scheduled videos. And that's on my end. I'll just keep doing that. I'll keep centering, getting in the zone, and keep channeling as much wisdom and as much truth as I possibly can, and keep sharing it with you. And I'm excited to see where we are in the long term on this channel. Excited to see these retreats happen. They will happen at some point. Yeah, that's about it. All the love, all the appreciation, and I will see you guys in the next video.